You're listening to PJ's Bayou Grind, brought to you by PJ's Coffee in Pueblo West. And we are here with Joe and Renee Prutch. How are y'all doing?
Good, man.
Great.
The owners of Baskin Robbins. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, Joe. I'm doing great. I'm excited. Looking down at the script, I'm ready to roll here. We got, you guys are owners of Baskin Robbins here in Pueblo, PJ's Coffee here in Pueblo, Prutch's Garage Door here in Pueblo. Anything else I'm missing?
Well, other little things, but we won't go there.
Sounds good. But you guys, very established owners here in Pueblo, you know, big names here when it comes to the city. Like, you guys have been doing a lot of work here for a long time. How long have you been in Pueblo for?
Born and raised our entire lives.
Yep.
Wow.
All of our lives.
All of our lives.
And then you said business owners for what?
32 years.
32 years.
Yes.
So you guys been through the ringer with a lot of different things, a lot of different stories. What we want to do for this podcast, a lot of our podcasts have been kind of targeted towards the people who would go to Baskin Robbins or PJ's. Now we're going to talk to the young business owners.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of people trying to make their own opportunity nowadays. Really, there has been for a long time in the United States. You guys are great examples of it. You started a garage door company and you've been able to now, you know, own 3 major things here in town, and you've been really getting a lot of momentum and doing a great job with that. So I just want to talk about like starting your own company and what does that look like as a business owner. So I mostly just want to hear your story of that. So what was that like starting Prutch's Garage? Okay. And then what lessons from that did you learn that you could maybe impart on someone young who's getting into business?
Yeah, great.
You know, Ben, it starting your own business, it's scary. It really is scary. And a story from us, from me and me and Renee, I was working for another garage door company for 10 years prior to in the garage door industry. And one day Renee tells me, she says, we're gonna open up our own business. and I was floored. I was like, no, I'm really content of what I'm doing and I'm bringing home a paycheck. And and she says, listen, you're going to put in your 2 weeks notice on such and such date. And we're going to do this on our own. And I thought she was crazy. I thought she was crazy. And in the meantime, in the 2 weeks, she did all of her due diligence. She went to the library and got garage door companies and manufacturers, and she did it all. And then, lo and behold, she went and rented a little shop in Pueblo West, a little building to open up. And she said, one night, she says, come on, I want to show you something. So we get in the car, take a ride out to Pueblo West, and she says, this is our new shop. I was like, what? This ain't real. So and that's a true story.
This isn't real, but it is.
This ain't real, but it was. And you're talking about a leap of faith, and it really was.
Right.
It was scary, but doing your homework as Renee did for us, I had the technology of knowing how to hang garage doors, but to run a business, Renee was very adverse at it. She dabbled in her own businesses prior to us opening up the garage door business 32 years ago. She dabbled in a lot of different things. So she was determined, and as a business owner, I do not regret it. We do not regret it whatsoever. But you're talking about a lot of trials and tribulations, during the period of again, we've talked about patience and getting as much information and searching out to get the answers. Yeah. Makes a big difference. It's a world of difference.
It does. Yeah, so it was funny. So Joe was working, like you said, 10 years at another garage door company, making $2.75 an hour. That was the minimum wage where it started there. Got some increases and stuff and, some benefits, health insurance and everything. But then, like, towards the end of the 10 years, raises quit coming. benefits were taken away, health insurance was taken away. And I told you, I was like, no, we can't, we're not going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
We need to look at something else. So like you said, and it was more than 2 weeks. I was going to the library and you're talking big old thick manufacturing books. It's not like where you Google it now and like pull up what you want and everything. I was going through huge manufacturing books and making copies and everything and calling all these manufacturers and talk about the no's. I got so many no's. They were like, well, who is this Joe and Renee in Pueblo, Colorado? You have no money, you have no business, but you want us to, you want to sell our garage doors? I'm like, yeah, I do, So I went in it with determination and, finally, our first one was Windsor Garage Doors that said yes to us. And so we're like, hey, we got one here that's going to sell us some garage doors. Then I had to find suppliers for our parts and everything. So same thing, went through all of that and everything, and then was able to get some to say yes to us.
Yeah.
And put us in the phone book. And like I said, I went out into Pueblo West, looked at all these little warehouses and these spaces and stuff, got all that lined up. And I did tell him, I said, March 1st, 1989, we're opening up our business. And so you do need to put in your 2 weeks notice. And like he said, he was like, no, I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this.
So did you see Renee doing that work then before that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but I didn't pay attention.
It's like, oh, she's just doing something again.
She's not really going to do this. But yes, no, I did know, and I was, but I didn't know. I still wasn't convinced that she was going to give me that drop dead date.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, you got to put in your 2 weeks notice. I knew she was doing her work on it, but when that time came, after she did all of her homework and got us some connections.
Like you're jumping out of the plane March 1st.
Yeah. Right, there you go. Parachute and all. I gave you that. But so then the first 2 years, it was just Joe and I. Every Tuesday, our first truck, we went to, it was the utility company, their name was that old name back then.
San Isabel Electric or something.
One of them.
Yeah.
And you bid on these trucks. So I bid this truck and I got $1,500 and I got the truck. And Joe was like, what did you do? I'm like, yeah, we have our first work truck and it had side boxes on it. So we had to paint it because it was blue.
Yeah.
So we painted it black, put Prutch's garage door on it and everything. So then I would take the truck and the trailer with the babies, because I had 2 little kids at that time, and I'd go to Denver and get all the garage doors. So every Tuesday, I'd go get the garage doors, come back. Joe and I would unload the trailer and unload the truck and everything. And then I would help him install on jobs that he needed help on, because again, it was just the 2 of us. And then after the first 2 years, we were able to hire our first employee, and then it grew from there. But it's sacrifice. You have to make that commitment to make that sacrifice, to have it later in life, knowing that you're working towards and building, your future. And so you dedicate everything you have into it.
Yeah. So I'm sure that, you're sitting there and you're looking for manufacturers, and you have probably in the back of your head, like, what if all of this is for nothing? And like for the first 2 years, you guys are installing garage doors. I'm sure you have a fear of failure there, and you're thinking, I have to go back at some point.
We never did.
Really, you never did? Okay. Tell me about that. Yeah.
We just never had fear.
Interesting.
I think it was just our confidence of what our abilities were, what we can do, and we just never looked back.
We never did.
So Ben, we never had failure.
Wow.
We didn't, and like Joe was saying, I did other things. So I had vending machines also during that time. I had 75 vending machines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in cool. The city of Pueblo. And so one day a week with those 2, I'd go out and service all the machines, take out the coin, fill them up, whatever.
Yeah.
So we had that income. In addition, it wasn't much, but it was, we budgeted.
It was something, yeah.
Yeah, you had to make, again, just live within your means and everything. So we had that, and that did help pay some of the bills and stuff. And I think I ended up having that vending business for 5 years, and then I ended up selling it and stuff, because I would get because I had some in bars and stuff, and I'd get calls 2 a.m. because their quarter got stuck in there, and I'm like, okay, really? I don't need this right now. But yeah, so I think it was the blinders were on, and the faith was there, and we, like Joe was saying, we believed in each other, we believed in our abilities, and we wanted it.
Yeah,
we were going to make it work.
Yep, and I tell you, and me and Renee both are big believers of Pueblo's been good to us.
Yes,
and
very much.
The people in Pueblo have been so supportive of us from day one.
Yes,
it was good to have friends and that just the name, getting the name out there. Pueblo supported us from day one. So I guess that's maybe part of why we never looked back or had that fear of failure, because we had that support.
Yeah, and I think that really goes to of the way you live. You live with honesty. You live with integrity. You take care of people the best that you can, and people remember that. So when we did start our business, people knew of us. Again, for me going out, even car dealerships, I had the vending machines there. Yeah. But you're constantly establishing relationships. Yeah. And again, I could take it back to you're constantly being interviewed. So you have choices at those points. You can leave a positive impression with people, even if it's a little vending machine. Yeah. Or you can leave a negative impression. Oh, she was so rude every time she came in to fix these machines. No, I'm establishing and as proud as I can be and doing my best. Yeah. From day one. And that's what, again, I guess that ties into our employees, what we expect of them and what we try to instill in them. People, it was fantastic, the support that we got.
Wow. That's crazy. That just speaks to your mentality. I just assumed that you would have had that fear of failure. That's crazy that you didn't. How did that look then day to day? Day to day, maybe you have a bad day at work. How did you keep yourself positive in those spots? Maybe a dry spell for a little bit. How do you keep yourself positive as young entrepreneurs?
It seems like, and it still works this way, is if I'm having a bad day, Renee lifts me up. If she's having a bad day, I try to lift her up. Yeah. Whatever consequences that we're dealing with, and it could be, who knows what it might be, but that's how we've gotten through it. We've kind of built each other up, and believe me, we've head up and down.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't get stuck on that negative. You don't get stuck on, oh gosh, this wasn't a good day today. You find solutions. You find a way to, okay, what do we need to do to make this better? Yeah. Do we go out and talk to the car dealerships? Can we service your garage doors? You find solutions to the problems. You don't let the problems define you, because that's easy. Again, to just say, "Oh, it's not going to work." Well, no. What can I do to make it work? And so that would be the focus. We would do whatever we have to do to make those days busier.
And I think in having a conscience. Yeah. Really, because you want to make people happy. And we enjoy people. We love people. And we love talking to people. We got the gift of gab, I guess.
Joe's the salesman.
But it makes a difference. By doing so.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome, guys. So, I think a big part of that as well is you guys have a lot of self-motivation that I can hear. Yes. So, going and finding the right manufacturers, doing all that work, and then going to different places and, vending machines and going and installing doors with just the two of you. There's a lot of self-motivation in that. Where do you think that comes from? And if you're maybe a young business owner that's struggling with, getting up and doing something all day, where can they draw that from?
It's a drive. It's a drive that you have inside of you. And you got to know what your goal is and what you're doing it for. If you're doing it for the wrong reasons, I don't think it's going to be as successful. But if you're doing it to make a difference, if you're doing it to provide for your family and then provide for, now we've got 14 families in the garage door company. we have gone many of years and many a times where Joe and I didn't get that paycheck. We have not had a raise for the last 10 years. But we just did evaluations for all of our guys and gave them all raises. So, we have seen some business owners that do it for themselves, and it's going to work for a while, but we have done it for everybody else. And our success has come along with it. We're blessed, we need something, we have the ability to go get it. And so we share that. You have to share that with everybody, your employees, your team, and all that stuff. Yeah. Because they also helped you to get to that point.
It's sacrifice.
Sacrifice again. Yep. Yeah.
All right. Well, my last question for you guys is maybe
only one more, man.
One more. Sorry, I know I've always got so many. I feel like a 3-year-old on these podcasts. I'm asking you different things. If somebody's listening to this and they've been thinking about making that jump and starting that business, but it's too much of a risk maybe, and they just are struggling to come up with that motivation to put in their 2 weeks. Talk to me about why is it worth it to take that risk? Yeah.
Time goes by regardless. Okay. And you may have that dream 10 years ago and you're still talking about it. Well, 10 years just passed. So do it now. Just, because, and I instill that in everybody that, if you want to go to college, but they look at, oh my God, it could be 4 to 6 years. But you know what? In 4 to 6 years, if you didn't start, 4 to 6 years is going to pass and you're going to be saying the same thing. Same with business. You can't stop time. And if you have dreams and you have goals and you have motivation, you have a desire, you have a drive, do it.
You got to do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. It really, the old slogan.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
And feel confident.
Yeah.
Feel confident and be willing to make that sacrifice and follow your dream. But when you take that step, go at it. Full board.
Yep. Give it your best.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Hey, thank you guys so much. You guys inspirational and you're always coming in.
Keep going.
You guys
You're
are
so
awesome.
kind.
Oh no. So give me a plug. How do we connect with Prutch's Garage, Baskin Robbins, PJ's Coffee? How can people see the businesses that you guys have built from the ground up?
Well, they could come visit us. Just seriously, come over to the Garage Door Company. We're at 2710 South Prairie Avenue. A beautiful showroom, nice offices, great building. That's our home away from home. We welcome anybody and everybody. Come see us. Come say hi. Say, hey, I heard your podcast. I have a couple of questions. Our doors are open. We're just open.
Come say hello.
Come say hello. And then at the coffee shop and the ice cream store, if you catch us there, that's great. We'd love to see you there.
We'll have a cup of coffee.
We'll have a cup of coffee with you. That's right. And an ice cream, because who says no to ice cream? I don't.
Exactly right. You like pralines and cream? Come on down.
Yeah, but we love meeting people, and we love this journey that we're on. So come join us.
Yep, and we wish everybody success.
Yeah, we do.
Anybody that would like to start a new endeavor, we support that 100%.
We do.
Go for it.
Yep.
Just go for it.
Yep.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day.